Hey, what is going on, DFS Army? It's Craig Bennett, aka Cash Keg, for a MLB breakdown. We got an 8-game slate here on Sunday. Happy Easter. Um, nice little slate on our hands here. I'll go over DraftKings and Fanduel, just talk about pitching, maybe some teams that I'm going to stack against. I'm not going to get too deep in the weeds of stats and everything. We have everything over at DFS Army covered when it comes to cheat sheets. It comes to leverage stack tools, ownership percentages, coaching in the channels. Like, head on over there, use promo code CashKeg, save yourself 10%. Let us help you win some money here. So with that, I'm going to jump right into our Domination Station, which is our optimizer, and kind of just talk about some pitching that I like, and then talk about a few stacks, and we'll go both on FanDuel and DraftKings. And then maybe build some sample lineups either on DraftKings or FanDuel, or maybe both. But let's just dive right in and see what we got. All right, I have the Domination Station brought up here on FanDuel. And again, on both sites, I'm always going to narrow my pitching down first. I'm always going to do pitching. Again, like I said, we got 8 games here on Easter Sunday. Starts at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, I'm going to knock down my pitching. So here on both sites here, I got FanDuel pulled up. Here's DraftKings. FanDuel's all about strikeouts, man. You know, it's a little bit different on both sides. So on FanDuel, it's all about strikeouts. I'm always going to come into here in the Domination Station. I'm going to click on pitchers. I'm going to uncheck them all because I'm only going to play the pitchers that I want to play. I don't play everyone. I might play a few more stacks, but I'm going to really narrow down the pitchers that I want. And on this slate in particular, on FanDuel, on the high end, I want Aaron Savali against Detroit. Now, Detroit's won the first 2 games against Cleveland. He's a -134 favorite here, but he's a 20.7% strikeout pitcher, and Detroit strikes out the highest rate against righties on the slate at 28.2% with a .285 WOBA. Now, if I'm going to spend up, it's going to be him. It's going to be him over Ian Anderson. Ian Anderson's got a higher strikeout rate at 24%, but he's going up against a Philly lineup that it's a lot more dangerous than Detroit. So Aaron Savali is going to be in my player pool here. Zach Davies, he's more of a DraftKings pitcher for me. His strikeout rate is really low for the Cubbies, man. He's about 17% strikeout pitcher, and Pittsburgh struggles against righties, .266 WOBA against them. We saw Arrieta kind of go through them yesterday through 6 innings. So, 25% K rate against righties. So I think he's more of a DraftKings play for me because I don't like to pay $8,200 for him when I know Savali's got way higher upside for me than going to Zach Davies. Now, just Davies is just not a strikeout pitcher. So if you want to play him, sure, but I'm not going to play him. I'll play him over on DraftKings. Coming down a little bit, Zach Eflin. I don't really want Zach Eflin. He's going up against Atlanta. Atlanta has the highest WOBA on the slate against against righties at a 363. I just don't want to attack this game at all on both sides of Ian Anderson or Eflin. I don't want any about of that. Domingo German for the Yankees. He's a -175 favorite. High strikeout rate on the slate. 26.22%. Going up against Toronto, it's a dangerous lineup. They got a .329 WOBA against righties. I think you could take some shots on him, but at 7,700, I think I would come down a little bit more. So I think he's viable if you want to put him in your pool, but not somebody that I'm leaning on. I don't want Brad Singer here, but Michael Pineda is the guy I want. That's 400 cheaper than Domingo German. If you want to put Domingo German in there, I understand, but Michael Pineda is a -112 favorite here, 7,300. 22% K rate. And the good thing is Milwaukee strikes out a 27.2% clip against righties, and they got a .298 WOBA. So someone that I don't mind playing at all. Not a super high K rate, but someone that I will play. So Michael Pineda is going to make my pool. So right now I just got the 2 pitchers. Like I said, if you notice when I make these videos, you'll start noticing that on FanDuel, I will make between 2 and 4 pitchers on my slate, and I will just kind of, stake my guys saying, here's where I'm sitting at. And these videos are early. It's 6:30 in the morning on Easter Sunday here. So, like yesterday, if you went into the chat, I talked about, on FanDuel, just running 2 pitchers out there. But then I got a little bit more on Minor as the day went on, so I threw him in my pool. So again, this is just kind of a first look on pitching, and then some stacks that I'm on. So right now it's just Savali and Pineda right now. If we come down here a little bit and try to get some cheaper arms in, there's nobody that I really love here. I don't want TJ at all. I think Yankees are going to smash him. Don't want any Bruce Zimmerman. Don't want any Jeff Hoffman. Tariq Skubal, I don't want any Harem. Garrett Richards, no thank you. Mitch Keller, he's got a high strikeout rate, against the Cubbies. He's got a 24, 25% strikeout rate. I think he's one guy we could look at. And the implied run total for the Cubs is 4.44. Big thing for me, though, is we got to see the wind. It was blowing out 19 to 20 miles per hour dead center yesterday. So if that wind is blowing out again, probably don't want him. If that wind is coming in a little bit, then you might want to jump on some Mitch Keller, and then maybe I will throw some Zach Davies in there. But as of now, I'm just going to leave these 2 pitchers in right now. Again, you can throw a few more in there. Jordan Lyles, do not play him. He is a gas can, and I love KC stack again today, man. They put up double-digit runs in both games, 14 and 11 the first 2 games. So somebody that bullpen is tired. I don't think Lyles is going to go deep. I think they're actually bringing in a Wes Benjamin as a long relief guy because they just don't have any arms in that pen. So I'm going to keep jumping on them KC guys. They're just red hot to start out with. And again, that Texas bullpen is tired. So as of now, that's kind of where I'm sitting at. I guess you could look at, to me, they're the best 2 arms on the slate. They're playing, on FanDuel, you're looking for strikeouts. The opposing team strike out the most against these 2 guys. These are where I'm going to kind of, live or die with these 2 pitchers right now. Like I said, depending on what's going on with the weather, I could come down here to Mitch Keller and add him just at 6,300. But again, when pitching is this cheap with Pineda and Savali at this cheap, you can pretty much build whatever you want to. So I'm going to just land on these 2 these 2 pitchers. Over on DraftKings, this is where I said I kind of like Zach Davies a little bit more over here. He's 7,900, so I don't mind throwing him in. I'm still going to go Savali up here at 9,600. I don't mind playing some Domingo German over here. But I think Zach Davies is a much better play on DraftKings than he is on FanDuel, just because you want those Ks on FanDuel and DraftKings. You don't want those walks or hits, and I think he can limit that. Now again, Pineda is 9,200 over here on DraftKings as well, so maybe I'll run that and make Zach Davies as my cheaper guy. And then if I'm punting anything down here, I really don't like anything at all. I think, like I said, Mitch Keller could be another guy that I could play, but I want to see what that wind is doing. If the wind is still blowing out, I don't think I'm going to go there. So as of now, I'm just going to run Zach Davies, Pineda, and Savali as my DraftKings pitchers, and then on FanDuel, just Savali and Pineda as my FanDuel pitchers. So we'll do DraftKings today. I did FanDuel yesterday, just kind of setting up stacks and whatnot. Again, I'm going to leave this all the same. We'll go in and we'll run 50 lineups here, but I'll probably run 150. Just for the sake of the video, we'll run 50 here. Put it in tournament mode. I'm going to use 2 uniques. You can go up to 4 for baseball with how volatile it is. I do 15% randomization. I'll put 10 today. And that's it. Again, 8-game slate. I don't need any hitters against my pitchers, but if I was going to do it, you could set it here in our Domination Station. Pretty simple to do, but I'm not going to add that today. So come down here in the stacks. If we go and look at our chart that we have over at DFSArmy that kind of explains things, that kind of shows you where the winning is. We all know it's the 5-2 stacks, but I'm going to pull this up real quick and see on an 8-game slate where generally the winning lineups are and what percentage that it comes from over the last 2 years. We did the research and pulled this up, and it is in a chart. And you can find it over on DFSArmy, and it kind of helps you just figure out where you want your stacks to be because it's important. And on an 8-game slate, we're looking around 21% on a 5-2 and a 21% on a 5-1. Not so much on a 5-3 stack on an 8-game slate. So maybe we'll do 70% 5-2, or maybe we'll do like 60% 5-2. we'll do 20% 5x, and I'm just going to leave 20% whatever it's going to give me. Maybe we'll get some 3-3-2s or something like that. So I always like to leave the Domination Station optimizer to give me a little bit of what I want it to give me, or what it wants to give me. And sometimes those are the best lineups. So I don't want it to force in 100%. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But on this slate, I don't think I'm going to. Again, primary stacks here, I'm always going to limit my primary stacks. I know there's a million ways to do this. I know that some people like to run, 5% of everybody in the primary stack. I don't think that's the right way about it. I think if you're going to run extremely heavy 5-2, 5x stacks, you want to try to find those teams that are going to score double-digit runs. And if I only have 5% of those guys, and I'm burning the rest of my lineups, and I don't feel like that's the way to go about it. I would rather take my shots 4 or 5 teams here and try to get those teams where I have 25, 30% of those guys. And sometimes I'll go 100%. I think it was 2 nights ago when I won 100% on the Dodgers, not opening night, but the night before, when it was like a small slate and the Dodgers ended up putting up, I don't know how many runs. I think it was 8 or 9 that game. Didn't end up winning, but I did cash going 100% for them in the 4-3 on Fanduel, I think it was. But again, like I talked about, we're going to go back to KC here. I'm going to put 30% on this stack. Again, I talked about how Texas is going to be heavy in the bullpen. They're going to, take Jordan Lyles out there. He is a dumpster fire. It's just not a good pitcher at all. And then they're probably the long relief Wes Benjamin. And then that once they get to the bullpen, they've just been shellacked the first 2 games, man. 14 and 11 runs. So I'm going to go there right back to KC. No problem doing that. Some other guys some other teams I'm looking at here that we can attack. I'm definitely going back to the Yankees. I think TJ is going to struggle mightily. He's not a strikeout pitcher, only a 14% K rate here. And again, the Yankees are second highest on the slate when it comes to WOBA against right-handed pitching. So I'm definitely going to go to a little Yankee stack, and we'll throw 20% of those guys in there. We look at a little bit more and see what some runs, and they got a 5.23 run total. They're probably going to be pretty popular here. If we look at Jeff Hoffman, he's got shy of a 20% K rate. I don't know if I really want to attack St. Louis here. Man, Boston's a team that's just struggled out the gate too. They struggled mightily. Bruce Zimmerman's a lefty, only 17% K rate. I think I might just go more one-offs with Boston instead of a pure stack until they've shown me something. Give me a JD Martinez, give me a Xander Bogaerts or something against him. But Boston's just, and maybe that's when you jump on them. I'm having a hard time watching them. They should have teed off yesterday. They didn't. So not sure that I'm going to go there either. Looking at it a little bit more, again, I need to know what's going to go on with Pittsburgh and Chicago with the wind to know exactly what I'm going to do there. So I'm going to kind of leave that alone. Again, this is just kind of first look, kind of see where I want to be at. I like the Philly and Atlanta as well. Like I talked about Ian Anderson. He's a strikeout pitcher, but it's a really dangerous lineup with Philly. So, maybe I'll throw a little bit of him in there. But Atlanta, Zach Eflin, 21% K rate, but again, gives up the highest, Atlanta has the highest WOBA against right-handed pitching. So I'm going to want some Atlanta in the stacks as well. So right now I got 3. I got the Yankees, Atlanta, and KC. Maybe I'll throw a little bit of Philly in there at 10%. There's 4. Maybe I'll throw 1 more on here, or maybe I'll just light up on KC. Maybe I'll just go 50% KC. Maybe I just might take a stand today. They've been putting up their hot team, going to get to that bullpen really early. Maybe I'll just go extremely heavy on them guys and see what's going to happen. We'll throw 50% on them. We'll bring this down a little bit. The Yankees, Atlanta, Philly. We'll leave it at that. Again, first look video. We could change this up a little bit once we get a little get closer to lock and kind of figure out what exactly we're going to be on. But again, it is pretty early here in the morning, and I want to see, where our coaches are at. Get in there and see in the chat rooms in the morning. But I still have a lot of love for KC. I think they're going to be popular because of the runs they put up. But it's just one of those things. It's going to be hard for me to get off them guys. St. Louis, I guess, would be the other one that I want to look at. And then again, Chicago, if that wind is blowing out. So maybe we'll take Philly off here. Now I'm thinking about it. And I want to go, let's go 10% Chicago. We'll bring Philly down to 40%. Maybe we'll go 30% Philly or KC. We'll do a lot of them in the 2 stacks. And then St. Louis, let's give them 20%. Let's do 20, 10. KC, let's go this way. I think they're going to get to Jeff Hoffman. The more I look at the numbers for Cincinnati and Hoffman, I kind of like this. So we're going to go KC, Yankees, Atlanta, St. Louis, and Chicago as our highest tier. I'm not going to get on Boston. I think more one-offs here. Then when it comes to the other side, like I said, I kind of just like to play a little bit of everyone because you're doing more of the 5-2 stacks. But I knew I want to be a little KC heavy here. I want to be, Chicago. Sometimes I just like to do 5% on team exposure here, which kind of just throws a little bit of everybody in real quick and dirty. And then I can adjust these guys, if I want a little bit more of this or a little bit more of that. Just kind of see what's out there. Maybe I want more Yankees, Boston. I don't want them full stack, but maybe I want more here. All right, let's just look at this real quick, kind of down and dirty what we're sitting on. And let's just run 50 lineups and see what it gives us. Now, I might struggle a little bit with 3 pitchers, but we'll see. If that happens, we can look to add more or we can adjust a little bit. But those are the 3 pitchers that I'm going to go with as of now. Again, things can definitely change. But Davies is definitely more of a DraftKings play for me than FanDuel. If you want to play him on FanDuel, I think, like I said, he's the 3rd one that I would add. But we looked at here. It's giving us 74% Zach Davies, which is just fine for me. Again, I'm taking some stands here. Come down here and kind of look at some of these stacks that we got. There's a KC stack with Boston. Again, the 2 guys I was talking about that I was doing that I liked, instead of a full Boston stack, I like JD Martinez and Xander Bogaerts as one-offs. And then we got Trey Mancini here, 2K still. Whew, it's cheap. And then we got a full KC stack with Pineda, Savelli. So I like that a lot. And that's why I said I think you can play about whoever you want. These KC guys are still cheap. Here we got a 5-2-1 with KC St. Louis with the Pineda Zach Davis. I kind of like that. A good way to see this, you can kind of see where your team exposure's at. We're almost 50% KC, pretty heavy on Atlanta as well. Boston, again, we're not Boston on the main stack, but 26%, which I'm fine. I think Boston's in a good spot. I just didn't want him as my 5-man stack. So putting him as a 2-man, I'm sure we have a lot of the 2-man stacks in here, or just one-offs. Like I'm fine with Xander Bogaerts, JD Martinez one-offs. That's what I like to see. If I can see a Yankees 5-1-1 stack, and I got JD Martinez, Biggio, as 2 one-offs, I'm pretty happy with that. Or here, a 5-2 Reds, Yankees red stack with the JD Martinez one-off. That's what I'm looking for, man. If I can get one-offs from power guys like that going up against a lefty, I'm all for it. So, yeah, I like this too. This is a nice Davey Savali here. We got a 5 St. Louis stack with Freddie Freeman, JD Martinez as our one-offs with Freddie Galvis. No problem with that. So just looking through here, man, we got some. DS is spitting out a little bit of fire here. But then looking at it, we got, about a little bit of everybody here when you do that, which I kind of like. As long as I'm heavy on the teams that I want to be on, like I talked about the Yankees, St. Louis. I don't think I have enough Cubs that I would like to see. I don't have any Cubs here. So go to the teams here, kind of see where we're sitting, saying, okay, well, why are we not getting as many Cubs as we should here? One thing I like to see is, well, do I need to go back and see? Nope, we got a full lineup here. They're just not projecting real well, so that's why they're not coming in. So I can force a couple of those guys in, or I can keep messing with them. I just want to make sure that it was pulling the projected lineup projections incorrectly. So this is where I'll come down here and I'll look at it and I'll be like, okay, well, I'm not super happy with that. We got to go back and force in a few more Cubs. We can do that a number of ways. With just increasing, maybe the projection on a few of those guys, individually. So if we don't have enough Cubs, that's one way to do it here. You can come up here, go to the Cubs, pull them down, look at them and be like, okay, well, I want some specific guys out of here. So maybe I want to bump up Rizzo's projection. Maybe I'm like, well, I need Ian Happ. I want some more of him. So let me bump him up a little bit. Maybe I'll get a little bit more of him. Maybe I want some Jock Peterson here. Maybe I want some Baez. Let's boost him up. Some Bryant. Just boost all these guys up a little bit, and then rerun it and kind of. I'm sorry. I got to make sure I select all the teams. I was like, what is it telling me? Select all the teams again, and then kind of see where we're getting in Cubs after I gave them all, at least the guys that I wanted to hit the stacks, a 15% boost real quick. With those smiley faces, it's real easy to do. You can kind of see where we're sitting at. And then, again, when you're doing this, set all your rules you want here in the Domination Station. Going through early in the morning, get your cup of coffee, come in here, set your pitchers, set all your rules, and as the lineups get confirmed, it will take guys in and out, and all your rules will stay. So you can just come in here, wait till all the lineups are confirmed, and then run it, and then kind of see your percentages and kind of see where things lay out. But I always like to run this early to kind of see where we're sitting. Again, same kind of thing here with the pitching. I want those three. We come down to teams. Now this one is giving me super ton of Boston in this. Let's give him a 70% Boston here now that I adjusted these things. So we'll have to come back. Oh, no. You know what it did? When I reset my settings here. So I got to come back in here when I refreshed it. So I'll come back in here. Chicago, 15%. Yankees, 20%. KC, 30, Atlanta, 20. Do it like that, and then we'll give all these guys 5%. And then we'll come back in here at 15. I want some more St. Louis. I want some Boston guys. All right, now let's rerun it again and see if we get some of those Chicago guys after I gave them the boost. Should give us them. If not, we can just boost them a little more. We can adjust the projection, but I definitely want some Chicago guys in there. I don't like seeing 0. It never makes me feel good. All right, now we got 20% Chicago. That's what I'm like seeing. Maybe a little low on St. Louis here, but we're still heavy on KC, heavy on Boston. Again, these are more of the 2 stacks here. As we come through, we're still seeing, a KC. See, now this is what I like. This is, boosting those guys' projection helped a ton. So now we got a 5-2-1 KC stack with Boston, the 2 righties that I want, and then an Ian Happ one-off, which I love. So I'm looking through here. Love this too. KC with a Boston, same 2 Boston guys, but with a DJ LeMahieu one-off. Love seeing that as well. And again, you're going to see... Here we go. Here's a Cub. See, now I'm getting a Cub stack here finally. So, yeah, just boosting those projections up a little bit, kind of pulls them in and starts saying, hey, I got to throw these guys in a stack, and that's one way to do it. But again, as lineups get confirmed and they change, they'll come in, and then you got to keep rerunning it because some of these guys might not be in our projected lineup, and then you're not going to get what you want. So we go over here to stacks. As our primary stacks here in the 5 teams, I got 30% KC, 15 Chicago, 15% Yankees, 50. I'm okay with this. That's a good, if I'm going 5 teams, I don't mind that. I'm still pretty heavy on KC. And then again, the 2-man, we're heavy on Boston, heavy on Chicago because I boosted all those guys, which I'm fine. And then I'm getting a little bit more of these other guys as well. So the combinations, which is kind of fun, you can kind of see, KC Boston's our highest at 14%. Then we got, little rivalry, Chicago, St. Louis at 8%, and just kind of shows you where things are at here. So if we're too high, you can just take this max exposure, real easy to hit it and pull it down. So again, first run, this is kind of where I'm seeing things on the DraftKings side. Again, FanDuel is very similar. I'm going to run the 4-3 on FanDuel. That's generally what I run, almost 80 or 100% of the time is the 4-3, but similar stacks. The only thing different on FanDuel that I'm going to do is I'm going to sit on 2 pitchers. And if you're going to throw a third in, like I said, I don't mind throwing some Zach Davies in there, but on FanDuel, I want more of the K guys. So I'm going to look at Savali and Pineda here. I'm not going to really touch anybody else. You can, I just think Zach Davies is a better DraftKings play than FanDuel. So that's where I'm going to sit at. I'm not going to, you know, if I was going to throw two more pitchers in here, it'd be Zach Davies and Domingo German. Those are the two guys that I would throw in to make four. But I am not. I'm going to live and die on these two pitchers today on FanDuel and on DraftKings, those three pitchers. That's just the way I play. There's a zillion ways to play. And then again, pick 3 to 5 teams on your primary stacks, and then I'll run a bunch of them on the two stacks here, and just adjust the percentages that I want on the men on certain guys here, on certain teams that I want more of. Like I want Boston, since they're not in my primary. I do want a couple of those righties that are going to smash against lefties, and JD and Xander Bogaerts. So those are the guys that I want. So with that, I hope that helped kind of just, again, a very initial look at, baseball for today. Again, happy Easter. I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday. And again, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button for me, subscribe to the channel, turn that notification when you know I upload these videos, and I hope you win some money today, and I will see you on the flip side. Deuces.